All right, welcome to Concealed Wisconsin. This YouTube channel is dedicated to concealed carry information for the state of Wisconsin. And this update that I'm giving is for June 17th, 2011, and I want to welcome you to this page. I'm very excited and elated because after many years of living inside of Wisconsin, they are finally getting to the point where they are about to pass concealed carry. In fact, we're going to talk about some updates, but just to give you a little preview, the Senate has already passed its version of the concealed carry law. So let's take us back just a little bit to June 9th, 2011, and let's talk a little bit about what happened to get where we are today, which is June 17th. The Senate had to get their bill through the Joint Finance Committee, and it passed through that committee on June 9th, which put it into position to the point where it could be voted on by the Senate. There were a few amendments that were added to the bill requiring training, background checks, and fees. And many people were very disappointed about this because they were looking forward to constitutional carry versus just regular concealed carry with permits, which at this point is no longer on the table. Several of the gun advocates are blaming talk radio hosts, specifically Bellings, Sykes, Wagner, and Weber, for killing constitutional carry. The only conservative talk show host that advocated for this was Vicki McKenna, and she was very pro constitutional carry. She talked about the pros, the cons, and basically talked about the Constitution, which is what it all comes down to. However, the governor and certain senators did not agree with that, and so they buried that in these additional amendments. Now that brings us to June 14th, 2011. The Senate Bill SP 93 was passed with a vote of 25-8. There were 19 Republicans and 6 Democrats that voted for this bill. There were 8 Democrats that voted against that bill. Most of them were on the east side of Wisconsin, and you could say that they are pretty liberal Democrats. But with 6 Democrats voting for the bill, it was 25-8. That was a great passage of this bill. The open carry, the ability to open carry in Wisconsin is still going to be okay. The bill will take care of the problem that we have with car carrying, and we're going to open it up to state parks inside of this bill, at least at this point. There are a few areas that are still off limits, and so you're going to want to stay out of post offices. You're going to stay away from schools. There's still school zones. There are no guns in courthouses and police stations. All these areas are restricted to concealed carry and open carry. And so you need to make sure that you are obeying the laws, and that will come out very quickly. Now, to talk a little bit about the Senate bill requirements, there is a requirement that a background check be done for getting this permit. There is going to be a requirement for training, and you can use your, at least at this point, everything is pending amendments, so keep that in mind. At this point in the bill, you can use your hunter training, hunter safety training, and you could use an NRA class. I would definitely recommend getting some training. I don't like that it has to be mandated, but I would recommend that you get some training on use of gun, use of force, and the law, so that you are prepared in the event that you do need to use your firearm for protection. There is a fee which can be at this point up to $50. If there are businesses that are anti-gun, they're going to need to post a sign that basically says, we do not want you to carry a gun inside our business. Those are the types of businesses that I would probably steer clear of as a gun owner, because they might as well just put a sign up that says, "Please rob us. We don't have any way to protect ourselves." Now, we're going to move forward to the future. It is June 16th. On June 21st, 2011, the Assembly is going to consider the Senate Bill 93 at about 9 a.m. They will have an opportunity to add amendments. Some Assembly people would like to add more restrictions to this bill. Now, note that if amendments are added, it will send the bill back to the Senate and they have to vote on that again. However, if passed, the bill will be on the governor's desk within 1 to a few days for a signature, and then the Secretary of State has 10 days to publish the new law. This is pivotal for what's going to happen. Now, the questions are, with regards to how all this works, how long is it going to take before this is implemented? Most people that are in the know say that it could take up to 4 months to implement this new permitting system. The effective date would be 11/1/11, November 1st of 2011. That is a long ways out, and I'm a little disappointed in that because I would prefer to have it sooner. But once it's passed, there's some celebrating to be done because we have been waiting for this for many, many, many years. There's another question as to do with reciprocity with other states, and that hasn't been released as of yet, but there hopefully will be reciprocity with other states. The one thing that has been mentioned in some of the discussion online is that if you live in Wisconsin and you have a permit in another state that has reciprocity with Wisconsin, that is probably not going to cover it. You're going to have to get a Wisconsin permit. For instance, as I've said in other videos, I have a Minnesota license. I live next to Minnesota in Wisconsin, obviously, and that will not do it. I will need to go get an actual Wisconsin license because I live here. The next question is, could they immediately make car carry legal? There is a provision in the law right now that makes it illegal for you to have a loaded firearm uncased in your car. That basically makes it concealed. And if that was taken off the books or just removed, that would allow open carry to be a much more user-friendly scenario, because who wants to get out of the car, load their gun, put it on their hip as they're walking into Walmart? That causes a few stares. However, if you just have it on your hip, you get out of your car and walk in, you're not going to be as noticeable. And it also is much more dangerous for you to come out of every time you come out of a store. You're going to disarm yourself and put your gun back on your off your hip into the box and put it in your trunk or wherever you're going to store it. That is a great opportunity for you to get mugged while you're unarmed. And so it defeats the whole purpose of this ability to protect ourselves. So what are the next steps for being a licensed, permit carrying, gun carrying individual in Wisconsin? Well, that's a great question. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is that you need to educate yourself, and you need to do it as quickly as possible. Now, I don't work for Wisconsin Carry, but I am a member, and I do think that they do a great job. So I would say the first thing that you want to do is join Wisconsin Carry Inc. at www.wisconsincarry.org. The reason for this is they advocate on our behalf. They are talking to the legislature. They're investigating the laws. They're also doing several lawsuits have been filed on behalf of members of Wisconsin Carry to advocate on their behalf, and some of those have been successful in the case of proving that the police have been not fair in some of the ways that they've treated members that are open carrying and whatnot. So join the local Wisconsin Carry Inc. Number 2, join the National Rifle Association. Now, there's been a lot of talk with regards to the National Rifle Association and the Wisconsin law. Some people are not happy with the way that the NRA is, intermingling themselves with the law and pushing for one way or the other, constitutional carry or permit systems. The bottom line is the NRA is a very strong gun rights organization, and whether you like the NRA because of what they did with Wisconsin's law or not, they're the ones that are out there with the big guns, so to speak, and they are pushing to protect your gun rights. So I highly recommend that you join the NRA and that you do that before you get your permit. The next thing is to join a gun range and go shoot regularly. There are a lot of gun ranges still available. If you live in the country like I do, you could probably even find a patch of backwoods to shoot on. But a gun range is something that you want to support as a gun owner and a permit carrier. Get out and shoot and practice regularly and do it effectively. Because if you're unpracticed and you're carrying a gun that hasn't been fired in 6 months, you don't even know if that gun is safe, and you certainly don't have the skills to successfully pull that gun out and deal with a life or death situation. And the last step is to carry on. We talk a lot about the importance of carrying often, high percentage of carry, and the problem is when we carry something that is uncomfortable or really big or bulky, the chances that we're going to skip carrying that weapon because it just isn't comfortable is high probability. So get a gun that is comfortable, get a gun that you feel comfortable with wearing with a high percentage of carry, and then carry on. Maybe even get together with other people who are interested in the same things you are and do some practice shooting together and go look at guns together, whatever it may be. But get excited about this whole concept of being able to finally protect yourself. And let's just be excited about the fact that our state is now no longer one of the 2 states that don't allow individuals to protect themselves. They are now one of the 49 states, leaving Illinois in the dust once again with their high taxes and their complete disregard for public safety. Because when they say that guns kill people, they're right. All the criminals over there have guns. The only people who don't have guns are the law-abiding citizens, and that just doesn't set it straight in my book. Lastly, please subscribe if you're from Wisconsin or you enjoy learning about gun issues, and I'll try and bring another update here in the next week or so after the Assembly votes on their bill, and we'll get some updates with potentially some interviews from the individuals from Wisconsin Carry to come and talk about what all this means and how it's best to go about getting your license, your permit. Thanks for watching. Concealed Wisconsin out, and carry on, carry safe, and carry often. We'll talk to you later.